Hello, guys. Here's your guys' homework number 19 on x and y intercepts with possible fraction answers. So the one problem we're going to look at is 2, 5 first, and then we're going to take a look at 7 and 9. So here's number 2. So with number 2, you guys, first to find our y-intercepts, you guys have to set x is equals to 0. So if you guys set x is equal to 0, we get this. So plug in 0 everywhere you guys see an x, and you guys are going to get 12. So for our y-intercepts, you're going to get 0, 12. So that's your y-intercept. Now you guys got to find your x's. So to find your guys' x values, you're going to set f of x equals to 0. So if we set f of x equals 0, then we have an a is greater than 1 case for factoring. So I'm going to do it both ways. I'm going to do guess and check and by grouping. So for guess and check, you got to figure out what are the two factors of 5, which is 5 and 1, and what are the factors of 12. 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. So we know 5x times x, you guys, give us the first term. Now we have all these different combinations for 1, 12, 2, 6, and 3, 4. So I just got to figure out, okay, that these will get multiplied together and these. So one of those combinations added together will give you guys 19x. So as I'm looking at this, it seems like if this is a positive 3 and this is a positive 4, that's going to work. Because look, 4 times x, you guys, well, it's a 4x, but I'm just going to write the coefficient 4. 5x times 3, that's 15. What is 15 plus 4, you guys? That's 19. As a result, those are your guys' factors. And now to find your x-intercept, you set both factors equals to 0. And then you guys solve. Subtract 3 from both sides, and we're going to get x equals negative 3. Here, subtract 4 to both sides. We're going to get negative 4 equals 5x. Divide both sides by 5. X is ultimately going to equal negative 4 fifths. So negative 4 fifths, comma 0, and then negative 3, comma 0. So that was the guess and check. And then if you guys wanted to do it by grouping, you guys would do your x method, right? 5 times 12 is 60, 19 on the bottom. The two numbers that multiply the top and when added gives you guys the bottom. That's 15 and 4. 15 and 4. So then you guys do your grouping. So then if you guys recall, you gotta use this one, this, and this as your grouping. So 5x squared plus 15x plus 4x plus 12. Group. Factor out of 5x to get x plus 3. Factor out of 4 to get x plus 3. And that's how you guys get 5x plus 4 and then x plus 3. And then from here, you guys would just do that step, right? To find your guys' x and y intercepts. Or x-intercept, sorry. Number 5. So, to do this problem, you guys are going to get your guys' y-intercept. So, to get your guys' y-intercept, you guys set x equals to 0, right? So, plug in 0 in for x, you guys, and you'll notice that you're going to get negative 49. So our answer is going to be 0, comma, negative 49. Now, for your guys' x-intercepts, this is a difference of squares. Those are difference of squares, you guys. So 0 equals, what times what is 16x squared? 4x times 4x. What times what is 49? 7 times 7. Plus or minus. Set 0 equals to both of your factors. So 4x plus 7 and 0 equals 4x minus 7. As a result, we're going to subtract 7 to both sides. So negative 7 equals 4x. And then divide both sides by 4. X is equal to negative 7 fourths. Over here, add 7 to both sides. 7 equals 4x. Divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 7 fourths. So our x-intercepts is going to be negative 7 fourths, comma 0, and 7 fourths, comma 0. Okay. Now let's look at 7 and 9. So for 7, well, let's find our y-intercept. So let set x equals to 0. So plug in 0 in for x, we're going to get negative 0 squared minus 25 times 0 minus 25. So negative 0 squared, that's 0. Negative 25 times 0, that's 0. Minus 0, doesn't matter. And negative 25. Negative 25. So our y-intercept 0, comma, negative 25. Now let's do this. So set f to find x-intercept. Set f of x equals to 0. So we're going to get 0 equals, okay, we'll do grouping first this time. So we can factor out a negative 1, you guys, from each term. Why? Because there's a negative in the front. So all of these become positive now. And now, when you guys, since a is greater than 1, now we can do our x method first. 6 times 25, you guys, that is 150. 25. So what two numbers multiply to 150, but when added gives you guys 25? That's 15 and 10. So to factor, we're going to use these four terms, right? 6x squared plus 15x plus 10x minus 25. Group. You can factor out a 3x from there to get 2x plus 5. You can factor out a 5 from there, you guys, to get 2x minus 5. Oh, this should have been a plus 5. Sorry. And now we're going to get 3x plus 5 times 2x plus 5. Don't forget the negative 1 that's in the front and equals this to 0, right? Now, remember, the negative 1 does not affect the x-intercept, so set both of the factors equals to 0. Subtract 5 to both sides. Negative 5 equals 3x. Divide both sides by 3. X equals negative 5 thirds. And over here, minus 5 to both sides. And divide both sides by 2. X is going to equal to negative 5 halves. So x-intercepts are going to be negative 5 over 3, comma 0. And negative 5 over 2, comma 0. Now, if you were to do this the guess and check way, right? If you guys were to do this by guess and check, factors of 6x squared, well, first you guys would have to factor out the negative sign first. So you guys would get this. 6x squared plus 25x plus 25. Factors of 6 is 1 and 6 and 3 and 2. 2 and 3. Factors of 25, you guys, is 1 and 5. 1 and 25 and 5 and 5. So, if you guys were to do this right, well, if you guys chose this to be 6x and x, none of these combinations will work, because if you guys see, if you plug in 1 here and 25, that's not going to add up to give you guys 25. If you guys plug in a 5 here and a 5, well, 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5. 35. 30 plus 5, you guys, is going to be 35, which is too much. So as a result, you cannot use 6x and x. You got to use 3x and 2x. And the combination that would work is if this was a 5 and this was a 5. And a positive 5 times positive 5 would give you guys 25. But then look, 5 times 2 is 10. 3 times 5 is 15. Those added together would give you guys 25. So those are our factors. And then you guys just go from here to that step to find your guys' x-intercepts, right? That is the guess and check method. And lastly, number 6, this is a difference of squares, you guys. So set f of x equals to 0. Oh, sorry, we're trying to find y-intercept first. So for y-intercept, set x equals 0. And you guys are going to get negative 96, right? 0 comma negative 96 is the y-intercept. Now for the x-intercept, you guys, this is, you can factor out a 6, x squared minus 30 minus 16, and then this is a difference of squares. 0 equals 6 times x is x squared, 4 times 4 is 16, plus and minus. Set both factors, you don't need to do the 6, right? Set both factors equals to 0, and then you guys solve. X equals negative 4, and x is going to equals to 4. X-intercepts, negative 4 comma 0 and 4 comma 0. So hopefully this helps you guys. Again, just practice getting your guys' y-intercepts and x-intercepts down, okay? Good luck you guys on the rest. Peace.